How do you do? Just a word of friendly warning. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Mikey B, we bought a drum set.
Yes.
You should come over and play it.
All right.
Because you do that, right?
Yeah, I love the drum.
I love that too.
I like to hit the skins.
Welcome to Night of Living Podcast. I just wanted to say that to him real fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure he heard me say it yesterday. Welcome to Halloween episodes party show.
I thought you got a number and was like,
nope.
We don't do that anymore.
Nope. I know the drill.
As per the CEO of NOTLP.
I don't want to get... Listen, I'm already on my second verbal warning.
Yeah.
The next one is written.
Don't blame me. Blame Apple.
I will.
Apple Paltrow? Wait, Martin.
Blame Apple.
Apple Paltrow Martin.
Apparently, you're supposed to pronounce it Apple.
Oh,
Apple is now
everything.
discouraging everyone from numbering their podcast.
Apple D Apple.
Apple D App.
I know they are. It seems like no one likes that, though.
People miss the numbers.
Yeah.
I like having sequences.
Well, I think it's hard to search for old
Sequence
episodes
dress?
that way.
I like sequenced podcasts and I like sequenced dress.
Sequence.
Do you like Sequence the game?
I like playing Sequence with my grandma.
That's a great game.
We have Sequence and have never opened it to play it.
Oh,
It's a
wow.
great game.
Have we? We haven't
We
really
could conjure
finished.
my grandma and see if she could play with us.
Yeah.
Oh, spirits.
She's still alive.
Oh,
I mean,
live spirit of
she's
grandma.
not close by, so we still have to
Grandma B.
slowly-
Still need a Ouija board to contact
Actually,
her.
it's Grandma F.
Grandma F.
Yeah.
Grandma F.
Grandma
Sorry,
B
Kelley.
is dead.
we do-
I say goodbye.
Grandma AF.
Bye, bitch.
Did we derail your introductions?
No, not really. I haven't got there yet.
You introduced Mike.
This is
I didn't
words.
introduce him. I said his name. That's not the same thing.
It's a little bit.
What's like if
I feel
someone
like listeners know a lot more about me. I play the drums.
Well,
I have a
Yeah.
good relationship with my Grandma F, a bad relationship with my Grandma B.
yeah, they know something about you.
It's a lot of an introduction.
But it's sort of
I'm actually
like
feeling a little vulnerable right
do you want a hug?
now. Later.
Okay, that's good because it's like
There's a
difficult right now.
distance. From a distance.
But it's kind of like a horror hound where if you're having like if Mike and I were having a conversation and someone walked up and I was just talking to him and I said, you know that, Mike? I still haven't introduced them though, but they know your name.
Right.
So I would like to introduce Mikey B
Mikey B.
on the mic.
On the mic.
Andy here.
Yes.
Giving nothing.
I'm waiting.
Giving nothing.
Andy has interests. He likes food and comic books.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh, Freddy stood up. I thought something was happening.
I thought we were gonna.
I thought
Freddy?
there was like a stop.
Freddy.
Oh, the fourth wall is coming down, folks.
Yeah.
You just ignore me whenever I silently get up to fix something. Don't
You just
worry
wanted to
about it.
fiddle my knob.
I had to fiddle with Mike's stuff.
You had to tune into
His stuff was cockeyed, and I had to make it
Fiddle
straight.
with Mike's stuff.
Well, the guy
Come on, I'm fiddle with my stuff.
that's the guy that's playing with Mikey B's, the stuff in his face is
Yeah.
Freddy.
Yep, I'm a fiddler.
Freddy likes to fiddle with junk.
Yep. I'm a fiddle player too, and if you'd like to take a dare, I'd like to make a bet with you.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Wouldn't it have been awesome if that kid was super shitty at the
adorable.
fiddle
Yeah.
and he just went straight to hell?
And he was voiced by Leslie Jordan.
And he was voiced by Leslie Jordan.
Satan, I think I might be a slight bit better at playing the fiddle than you.
Burn the witch.
Burn her.
Anyway, Amy is also here.
I indeed am.
She has plaid shorts on.
They're not shorts. They're pants, but I pulled them up over my knees.
That makes them shorts.
Because I'm hot.
Is something short just because you hang it on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
She enjoys things.
I do.
And I'm Kelley.
What do you enjoy, Kelley?
Oh, a myriad of subjects.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, that sounds like the worst Tinder profile ever. I enjoy things.
I enjoy things.
I like to laugh.
You know, I like when people come together to talk about Halloween TV specials.
I like when people come together.
Oh, shit.
I like big butts and I can't
Me
do that.
too. I like musics and I like televisions and I like blowjobs and I like getting messed up and I like
with lettuce and tomato.
Remember,
I like BLTs.
remember Matt that used to be on the show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He had a first date with his ex-wife, and she said, "I like to laugh." She actually said that. I'm like, who says that?
Somebody you should immediately leave that date.
Only monsters
With-
say that.
I like to laugh.
I
I also enjoy food.
when she hears a joke, she's like, "That's amusing."
That's so funny. She
That's
could
funny.
like be Mandy Moore from
Yeah.
Scrubs. Anyway, yeah.
Because in my head, I was like, what was that sitcom that did that
Yeah.
So
joke?
She
I
said
could
that's
remember.
hilarious every time.
That's so funny.
That's so funny.
Can
Yeah.
I real quick make an
No.
aside about sitcoms?
Yeah.
And I've realized this as I've gone back and rewatched some sitcoms through the magic of Netflix. Like, I've discovered that most sitcoms, the main character is a huge asshole and a bad friend.
Yeah.
And then everyone around them are the good people. Both
Examples. Give me
Himium.
him.
Oh, yeah. Ted was the worst.
Ted Mosby and JD. Ted and JD should be a couple.
What he meant by that was How I Met Your Mother.
Yes, How I Met Your
Himium.
Mother.
In case you're not hip enough to understand the acronym.
I didn't think JD was an asshole.
Go back and rewatch and watch it
I need to.
as like
As a woke female in 2017.
just as a person who
Yeah.
like imagine if he was your friend.
Who was JD? Scrubs?
Yeah.
Zach Braff.
He broke up with that girl because she just said that's so funny. Like
Well, that's annoying.
he was constantly finding reasons to like break up with
Have
people.
you noticed that that's a common trope in almost every sitcom where there's one of the lead characters, usually male, will find fault in anyone they date, insignificant fault, and like it was a running
that was
theme on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Right, but that's what
How
I'm
I Met Your Mother. That's pretty
on
much
How
the
I Met Your
entire.
Mother.
But that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like the main
They're
character
jerks.
and they're bad friends. Like if
Yeah.
you watch, he is a terrible friend to all of them. Later sometimes he realizes it, but he's a real jerk. He's very judgy. And the same with Ted Mosby and probably other characters in other shows.
Yeah.
It's just they're real super assholes.
Yeah.
Well,
you're
yeah,
right.
Ross wasn't good.
So,
Ross is a dick.
so
That
would
was
I be
Chandler.
would I be the main character of the sitcom then?
Yeah, basically.
Oh.
Because
No,
I'm,
You do kind things all the time.
I'm super judgy.
You are a minority.
Last night,
You're a token minority.
You generally don't lead shows.
I want to give an example of how
Kind of the
kind
Mr.
Andy
Furley.
is.
would I be the wacky neighbor that just drops in?
Here's the
Mr. Furley.
kind.
I think he'd be sassy.
Last night, super great example of Andy's kindness.
Super great.
We're at the store and he buys a big bag of
weed.
mixed candy, specifically because it has Twix in it. He knows Mike loves Twix. Twix is so good. And then he's getting a full-size Twix. I said, hey, why are you getting a full-size Twix and a bag of Twix? And he said, Mike's had a really hard week.
Aw. That also sounded
I
like
wanna
a
do
setup to
something
a
nice
funny
for him.
joke. Well, hey, why are you
And
buying a full-size Twix and a bag
He
of Twix?
also got me
Mm.
those the
The knockoff Takis?
yes Takis.
Oh, those shit.
I had that for breakfast this morning.
Those shits are
Hey,
good.
North Bend Kroger, you're a bad Kroger.
You made my lips numb for breakfast, Andy. Thanks. It's fantastic.
I fucking love Takis.
Each Taki was
Oh, I'm
filled
like,
with Andy
it's
love.
like the weekend. I can't feel my face.
Can I
Can't
tell you
feel my
something?
face 'cause Takis.
Unpopular
And I
opinion.
love it.
You left your phone at home, Kelly.
I know. Tell her I realized that when I got out of the
I
car.
bet it wasn't even charged.
Are
though.
we doing?
No, it is.
Is it?
Are we doing non-show business on the show?
Listen,
This is our lives, people. Get used to it.
Give
okay?
me more examples of asshole characters.
I can't at the moment.
talk
Frasier's
more
kind of an
about it.
asshole.
Frasier's the worst.
Ugh.
Sam is a bad person.
Well, that's his
with
character,
women.
though, right? He's
Well,
just a woman.
But that's all their character.
But you're on Cheers. I'm talking about Cheers. So like the main dude character is kind of a dickwad and not really there for his friends because they have to drive the plot.
Yeah.
So
So I
But
discovered
isn't it
this
like
recently.
that part of people that makes them kind of interesting?
Well, that's it.
Exactly.
It's the likable rogue.
Yeah.
It's like Han Solo was a sitcom. Or
Yeah.
Han Solo is much more likable than JD.
okay.
Well, and that's why he stood the test of time.
Did you say okay as if to be like, pff, says
No,
you?
no. I just thought that was a weird comparison, and I was just trying to wrap my whole brain around it.
Well, you said Han Solo.
You would think we're doing the Scrubs Halloween episode.
Oh, we should.
Is there a Halloween
there
episode?
one?
I don't know.
We're gonna find out. Well, Dr. Acula, right?
Yeah.
Well,
maybe.
that was a running thing.
Yeah, it was a running joke.
Anyway, we are a horror podcast. For those of you who are listening for the first time,
No.
or if we've directed you to listen to our most recent episode because we know you and you're like, oh, what's your podcast about? And I'm like, horror. And then you pick up and you're like, is this the wrong show?
Ted Mosby.
So, it is the theme where we do Halloween specials because it is the month of Spooktober or Rocktober or Shocktober or Cocktober.
Or Inktober if you're an artist.
Inktober. Depending on...
Or Tober Grace.
What about Socktober? If
What
you're a
about-
dog that likes
Who's
to eat
Tober
socks.
Grace?
What
I
about
know.
Bolotober?
Bobotober?
Bolo Tie-tober?
Bolo Titober.
So we can add just Tober.
Long time.
So it's
Tober.
like Mad Libs. It's a noun plus
Yeah.
Tober.
Yeah. That's right. Exactly.
It's Amy Tober, y'all!
Yeah, it is.
Get ready to watch a bunch of X-Files episodes and read
Spocktober if
books.
you're into Star Trek.
Toby Hooper Tober.
Tittytober?
Tober.
Tittytober if you're into titties.
Minute titties.
Minitober if you're into minotaurs.
What
Like
Mennonite-tober.
Cabernet Sauvignon. You remember she jerks off
Yes.
because that minotaur is standing in front of her.
Grover Tober.
Grover Tober if you like Muppets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who doesn't?
I thought it was because you
Assholes.
liked Grover Norquist.
You have to be asshole. Your whimsy box has to be busted.
Like real busted.
I don't know what a busted.
It means
Busted
been
and
arrested.
It's busted and rusted.
Busted and arrested.
Well, I knew exactly what it was.
Arrested.
Just want to make sure you guys knew what was happening.
It's like the new Scattered and Splattered.
Rusted.
Anyway, so we talk about horror things. Horror.
Such as ghosts, witches,
Ooh, you know what Freddie and I
mummies,
watched this week?
Frankenstein's monsters.
Qua.
Hello, Mary Lou.
Prom Night 2!
2.
How'd you like that?
I saw it like in middle school, and I remember loving it. And so I saw it was on Prime right now, Amazon Prime, and I was like, "Fuck this shit, we're watching it," and it is bananas good.
I'd like to devote
Is it?
an
We're-
entire
we're-
month just to Hello, Mary Lou.
Weirdly enough, I like it much better than the original.
It's way better than
Honestly,
the
I
original.
might
Yeah.
not. I don't
Yeah.
know that I've seen Prom Night.
Yeah, you had.
Yeah.
We did it for the show.
Oh, then I've seen
Yeah.
Prom Night, you guys.
It's
Yeah.
kind of boring.
Jamie Lee
It's super
Curtis,
boring.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mary Lou, Hello Mary Lou has a supernatural.
Yeah. It has it has
Bent.
a carousel horse with a working tongue.
It's great.
It's a good movie. I like that one.
Yeah.
It was good.
It's got Anne of Green Gables running around with her bush out.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You know,
She wasn't Anne. She was
well,
somebody else.
she was
Was
like
it green?
Jill of Green Gables or Florence of Green Gables.
Janice of Busch Gardens.
I love Busch Gardens.
And in case you're wondering, the carpets match the drapes.
She's a real blonde.
They
y'all.
both need hot oil treatments.
BLOND.
What, for the Rages?
She has real frizzy hair in this movie.
Well,
Okay.
it's the 80s.
Until she gets possessed, and then it smooths out.
It's
Yeah.
like a Lane Boozler's head down there.
Yeah, it's just like it. Looks like she has buckwheat
So
and a
if-
headlock.
I thought you meant she needed like a hot oil treatment for her pube hair, but like
Yeah,
it's,
'cause
just,
it's
it's curly
dry.
already.
It's just dry. Like, give it some moisture.
Dry,
It's-
brittle
it's
hair.
thirsty.
It's too risky.
She's got a rockin' booty though,
You don't
and
want hot
also
oil down there.
Rinse and repeat.
She wears pants that are both tight and baggy at the same time. In
And
this
very
movie.
few people had rockin' booties in the 80s, so
Yeah.
good
we
for
just
her.
we didn't know because of the
I
pant
did.
technology.
Right.
Pant technology was so far behind you couldn't tell if they had a rockin' booty or
No,
not.
remember the 80s? They had the high panties that went all the way up to your rib cage.
Kelly loves those.
I loved those.
A high
Yeah.
cut.
I don't.
Yeah.
I do still like a high cut panty.
And I think
High
that just, I think
that'd
that
be a
just,
good band name,
That
High
just
Cut
flattened the
Panties.
ass and elongated it.
Right.
Unless
We
it was real big.
we
Like
weren't ready for the booties in the 80s. Like, booties needed to come later.
Was that did the booty?
I was ready.
The booty evolved so that the
Yeah.
pants like now fit the booty, or
Yeah.
were the pants just not flattering and the booties were already there?
we weren't looking
I think we
for
weren't
a
eating
good cut.
HMOs. Wait, GMOs? What is
We were
it?
eating health HMOs. I don't even get to
PBOs.
pick the booty I want to go to.
We
Just natural food
Yeah.
in its natural state. And now that we're we're eating scorpion DNA in our tomatoes, our booties are like.
So you're saying the booty is evolving, and that's why the pants are evolving.
The standard of beauty in the 80s
Standard
was
booty.
very much based on a white woman.
It was way
It
off.
was all,
Yeah.
all aerobics.
But
And
even
it was
the
all
white women,
flat asses.
lean
It was
and flat.
it was based on a kind of white woman.
Well,
Like,
exactly.
it was off. Ugh,
Yeah.
It was no bueno.
Curves. We didn't have time for curves in the 80s.
right.
Everybody
we
went Morgan
manufactured
Fairchild.
them with
Big fake boobs.
big
Well, like dude wear, like
shoulder
most
pads.
dude wear, like dudes appear to have
Dude, where's
zero
my car?
ace ass. But now there seems to be a movement. I don't know about anybody else's, like Instagram or Facebook advertisements. So I'm getting a lot of advertisements for those chubbies shorts. Have you seen those? Has
No.
anybody else in the room
Do
seen
they
the
give you a big
advertisements?
booty?
Well, they're like cut to be shorter and,
Yeah.
and to show off the male booty.
Oh.
I have
So I'm just
no
wondering,
ass.
is
I
it
don't
the
know,
fact that the booty wasn't there in the 80s? I mean, like if you were looking at Al Borland or whatever,
A lot of men have a flat
the
ass.
gene looks like he could like sit down and be
And it would
perfectly
hurt.
flat. Right. But now, is it the wear or the butt? Are
I
we
mean-
evolving as a booty generation?
Yeah, like I think we are evolving our standards of beauty to include
The
curves.
booty.
Our standards of
Booty.
booty.
Yeah, standards.
Standards
The
of booty.
booty.
Keep it straight.
I
To
feel like I'm
include-
responsible for
Booty
this.
hoe.
You?
Because in the 80s as a child, I was very into...
So you wore stuff that lift and separated
No,
your
not
buttocks?
me. I wasn't into my own booty.
Or is it like
Well,
a
sometimes I was.
Darwin thing? Because we sit on our asses so much more, there has to be more cushion for the pushing.
I know what you're
saying.
I know what you're
Yeah,
saying. You're
right.
saying, are we developing physically in a way?
Right.
Like mutants.
Are we changing?
I think we are.
Are we?
So eventually we're just going to be a big butt with legs.
Just all ass.
Yeah.
Dat ass.
Can't wait.
Like you look at Beyonce, who is you can't argue this point. One of the most beautiful women that has ever existed
Agreed.
on the planet.
Yeah.
And she's got a big ass and thick thighs.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful.
I know. I think it's always existed, but it's just we are embracing more types now.
We're becoming more diverse in our beauty types.
So we're
what
just noticing the booty,
yes.
that
and fashion is.
we're evolving
is
to starting to include different body types.
interesting.
You know, that being said, you know, we're I don't think we're ready for like
That jelly.
that jelly.
So
Horror movie.
we also talk about horror movies.
Yeah.
So thank you for the booty revolution, Kelly. Apparently,
You're welcome. Everyone is welcome.
Bless you,
Apparently, you
sir.
started it.
I just
did.
hope we don't start
Horror
developing booty faces because we saw what that looks like. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that
The
was
booty face.
a
That
movie
wasn't a
called
booty.
Skins.
That's a straight up butthole.
That's just a
That's true.
butthole.
Yeah, they're different between booty and butthole.
Are you talking about lip liner?
No, we're
'Cause
talking
that makes somebody's mouth look like
No,
an
we're
asshole.
talking about literally a butthole for a mouth.
PLS.
Oh,
Yes, I can.
Which we
remember.
talked about a few weeks ago.
gotcha.
Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, queen.
Anyway, it is October. It is Halloween time. You can go back and check out our flaunt. Have you released Flaunt Your Haunt?
Been doing piecemeal bits.
So
of
it's
Flaunt
not
Your
one
Haunt.
special.
So basically, we've had Brad Wymore from Land of Illusion on. We still have to record.
We went to Land of Illusion.
We went
talked
to Land of
about
Illusion
that.
and talked about that. We need to cover our Kings Island Halloween haunt still,
And the Dead Schoolhouse.
and the Dent Schoolhouse.
So
Are we doing a special this year?
Well, I figured we'd release them piecemeal.
Oh, okay. All the way through.
Individuals. Yeah. So when we have time to record about those other haunts, we'll do that very soon.
Dizay Tizund for Flaunt
Yeah.
Your Haunt.
I mean, we did talk. So we've already talked a little bit about Land of Illusion, and you guys have heard that. The Angelus House that was on the Horror Hound Weekend coverage.
good.
So listen to that, and if you're in the Indianapolis area, fucking go to it. It was
Me
amazing.
too.
It's a fun.
Yeah,
I'll
for
be
sure.
covering Chicago haunts next weekend. So I will not be on the show, but I'll be hitting some of the big Chicago haunts. So
And
I'm
you just
doing
went
some
to-
research now.
You did Cedar Point last
Yes,
weekend.
I did
Yeah.
Cedar
We can talk
Point
about
haunts.
that.
I actually have we have a Horror Hound friend, Bonnie, who works at a Chicago haunt. I'm
Yeah.
not sure which one. I'll have to ask her and maybe let you know.
Bonnie Haunt.
Bonnie Haunt.
That's pretty good. She should change her name from Bonnie Bones.
Oh my God,
to
Mike! That took
Bonnie
me a
Haunt.
while, but it's brilliant.
That is brilliant.
All right.
God bless you. So
Mad About Boo. That'd
Now
be
that-
Helen Haunt, wouldn't
Mad
that?
about, yeah.
That was Helen Haunt.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's terrible
Wasn't,
right now.
wasn't Bonnie Hunt on Mad About You too, though?
Yeah. No.
Never.
No,
You
that
set
was
that one
Helen
up
Hunt.
again, but with
I
your
thought she
Larry
showed
the
up,
Cable
like,
Guy.
played her
You know what? My favorite 80s cop show? Haunter. That's not a good joke, you guys.
That's all right.
Hill Street
Hunter.
Booze.
Okay, you know what?
Mike, you
What
need to
did
calm
Mike-
your shit down, all
What
right?
did you do today? Did you take pun pills before you got here,
Saint
bitch?
Hellswear, which is not a cop show, it's a hospital show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that we've got introductions out of the way, will you guys want to do a little bit banter for about 45?
Well, we've done 20 minutes of this. Remember, we have our Patreon right now, but obviously there are people who need your money more right now. So,
I'm sure after listening to this, all their Patreons are
They're
regretting their choices.
No, this is fun. So right now, make sure you're helping out the people of Puerto Rico and
just
doing that.
They need more paper towels.
They need more paper towels thrown at their faces. So do that. But, if you have a little extra,
If you got an
please
extra
join us.
$1 laying around, join. We have 90 patrons.
We're at patreon.com/NOTLP. We just released me by myself in this room talking about Paperbacks from Hell.
Yeah.
So enjoy me feeling nervous and talking through all the silences because I don't like silence.
Yeah.
You don't enjoy it?
No.
You don't like violins?
But yes, I know I've talked about Paperbacks from Hell a lot, but it's so good.
Don't let me forget to take it with me.
It's
I
right
wanna
there,
read it.
and you may have it. So that's on the Patreon feed. What else we got on there right now? Oh, you guys went and saw Blade Runner 2049 or something. Okay.
Blade Runner 2049.
The most recent Night of the Comic is out there.
Night of the Comic is there. That was artist versus writer. And
Yeah.
Andy's new show, Late to the Party, will be coming very soon. I'm still trying to put together artwork and an intro for that.
All right.
Tardy for the party.
It's not technically my show.
Well, it was Andy's idea.
What was
Late
your
to the
dumb
Party.
fucking idea?
Thanks, Amy.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I feel so valued on the show.
I'm a good friend.
And we got to get High Five Happy Hour.
Yeah, we need to schedule that, bitch.
You got-
And
you
if
should
you
do
need some help,
Yes.
Mikey B's. what,
What, Freddie?
what is it called? What are we calling it again?
Higher
Love.
Higher Love.
I
which-
actually have some questions for you. So when
Oh.
you're ready to do this, I want to
Okay.
be on it.
So you can do
I'm
this a
ready.
couple of ways. You can email MikeyB@notlp.com
Yes.
with your personal stuff.
And you could be
Yes.
anonymous. It's just questions you want help. Mike,
Just tell me, and I am a clinical counselor, so I'll honor that part of it. I won't say it's actual therapy that I'm giving you, but I will tell you that I
Life
will try to give you
advice.
advice, and if you don't want to be identified, I'm pretty darn good at making sure you're not.
Yep, he's very discreet. Also, if you don't want
He'll
to
say
email,
your name backwards.
you could also call into the hotline, which is 513-666-0916,
Mm-hmm.
and leave a message, and then we'll just use that to set up Mike's advice.
Yeah.
yeah, I have some questions,
Do you?
mostly
Try
concerning
to sound sexy when you do it, though.
how not to kill my husband on a regular basis.
Oh,
I'm
I can
kidding.
help
I
you with
love you,
that.
Freddie. I'm
Yeah.
kidding. It's a joke.
And if you want us to disguise your voice, just say so in your voicemail, and I can make you sound like a robot.
No, I want to.
or a
No,
chipmunk.
can I read it? And I like a funny voice, like hi.
You could do
While,
that too.
while Amy's in jest, that is a personal nightmare of mine, so please do not send me emails asking about advice for killing your husband. I will have to turn that over to the police.
No, I want to not feel that
about
way.
my
Oh, yes,
speaking
yes.
voice. And I was wondering if you have any advice for someone with an unconventional speaking voice.
You know what? I'm gonna ask you some questions that I think would benefit Ramona Singer and Luann de Lesseps.
Oh, I like that. It's speaking of.
Yeah.
I had the question last night on Quiplash of about a Real Housewife tagline, and I
Yeah.
choked because I only had 10 seconds to answer it.
So Mike and I are Real Housewives fans. I know that bothers everybody else in America, but we fucking love
doesn't
that
bother
shit.
me.
I love it. It's just pure
It's our own
unadulterated
kind of
trash.
therapy.
If you
Yes.
live IDWIW, it shouldn't bother you.
And honestly, you know what? I think there's a lot. I think the Housewives kind of help me speak my truth more because they don't hold back. They'll just say, like, when they want to confront, they confront.
I
They
think that's
get it
because their
out.
producers tell them to.
And that's probably true. But you know what? They don't look afraid to do it.
No.
There's
And
nothing.
maybe I just need to be more like that.
There's nothing wrong with producing confrontation. Since
Right.
most of us are conflict avoidant,
Yeah.
why not produce it a little bit by pre-planning your conflict before it happens?
Or hold the
Right.
phone.
I have to try not to conflict with people at my job. Like, I'm
Exactly.
constantly having to stop.
Like, I appreciate people like saying what's on their mind, but sometimes people need a STFU.
Oh no, totally.
Agreed.
No, it's about I think sometimes I'm less likely to say it and apologize for something that I don't need to be apologizing for. And these bitches never do it. And they're successful.
Well, I want to tell you something, Amy. You don't have anything to apologize for, ever. So you shouldn't. You know, unless you want to. You do what you want. You want to apologize?
Yeah.
Apologize, but you don't have to.
But I do find myself going, I'm sorry, when it's not something I need to be sorry for.
No, but are you sorry for what you should be sorry for?
I'm going to stab you straight in your fucking taint.
Yeah, I know this could sound
The
judgy,
taint,
but
right.
is it all these women like, yeah, I'm a bitch, so what?
No,
Fuck
not all
those
of them.
bitches.
Some of them are. Sure, that's Ramona's whole thing, but...
Ramona
Sorry.
Quimby, AJ.
I
Who
tried
wants
to
to talk
start.
about
I was doing real good on which one did I like?
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills. I tried to start New York. It's just giving me stress, so I had to shut it off. So I might try again any
You
time
wouldn't be
when
able
I'm
to
in
handle
my.
the fourth season then.
Too blessed to be stressed.
Yeah.
But anyway.
All I can do
love
right
it,
now
though.
is real doofy shows. Even more doofy.
You need like super doof.
I need.
What about
super
keeping up with the
doofy.
Kardashians?
No.
Jersey Shore's on Hulu.
No.
You want cartoons? Are a good way to go.
Cartoons are helping. Kimmy Schmidt, which
Yes.
isn't doofy at all. Actually, Kimmy Schmidt, I think, is darkly.
It's beautiful.
Bob's Burgers is great for like making you
Kimmy
feel
Schmidt
just
is-
calm and happy, and
Yeah,
Bob's
Don't-
Burgers is great.
Clarence.
Clarence.
You know what? You
Clarence.
should, if you're looking for doofy and fun and forgetfulness, but cartoon, do not go for BoJack.
No, that's a sad show.
Woo!
Is it?
It's
I
a.
couldn't
real
get those,
dark.
like the first 6 episodes of that one.
We like binged the last, not the current one, but the one
Season
previous
3.
in like a day, and I was like, I need like a Xanax and
there's
like a hug.
There's some shows you shouldn't binge.
I know, but it's so
Like-
funny too.
But because I binged The Keepers, and that was
oh, girl, why'd you do that?
that was a mistake.
Yeah.
Does anybody know anything about the one that's coming out, the Amazon show Lore?
Oh, Laura's
Yeah.
a great podcast.
Okay.
It's one of the few that I listen to.
And what is it?
It's a guy, Aaron Mahnke,
Mhm.
and he tells like different stories, and they're spooky usually, and it's like some of them are urban legends, some of them are real things that have happened. Like there's a few.
It's a very popular
Murders.
podcast. I've listened
Is it
to a few
really?
episodes.
Okay, I haven't listened to
It's
it.
soothing.
It's a great story. It is. We like to listen to it sometimes before bed. Like it's it's like a guy.
Like
He just
radio
tells you-
drama kind of thing.
No,
Yeah.
they're real. Like he tells you real. It's just like he's telling you an urban legend.
The trailers for it, the art at least, I don't know how much they're going to be like that when the show actually comes out, but the art for the trailers looks really awesome.
Yeah.
So this is based on the podcast. I'm like, I know nothing about this.
Yeah, I would check it out. It is soothing, but it's also spooky. It's like it's a great show.
Okay, I'm in.
Spoothing.
Elise introduced it to me, and
Spoothing.
It's spoothing.
yeah,
Mhm, spooky soothe.
Spoothing.
smoothing. Anyway, I'm gonna move this along now. I'm gonna take charge.
Real quick though, before you do.
Oh my fucking god!
No, it's not. It's
I'm just kidding.
Horror Hound Weekend is
was
coming
kidding.
up. The November show in Columbus.
Yeah.
Kelly and Elise will be there.
Yes.
The rest of us will not. Unfortunately, Dollywood needs me that weekend. So
That's Slide Wallace. If you only know her on the show,
That's
on the,
Slide.
the group.
sliggity slide. What are you doing?
He's trying to stab you.
I'm stabbing your boobs with this.
Well, it's not very nice at all. Anyway, horrorhoundweekend.com. Go. Have fun. It's Christmassy and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be. This is an interesting one. If you are able to get to Columbus, Ohio, and I apologize for it in advance.
The city.
It's the
Columbus.
blandest city. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just
disagree.
Well,
You have to get into the metropolis.
Where Horror Hound is in Columbus is very bland. 'cause
it's
by
kind of
the
like
beer plant.
judging Cincinnati on Sharonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Columbus has got great culture, great nightlife. Downtown Columbus is one of the way more progressive than Cincinnati.
If you're a friend of Dorothy, you're having a good ass time.
Jeez.
You gotta get in and mix it up in the heart of the town.
I've been to High Street. I've played High Street.
Then why do you think it's not so great?
I don't know.
Because nowhere's as good as Cincinnati.
You sure you're not thinking of Dayton?
Oh, I hate. No.
Dayton's
Here's the difference. Columbus, I don't hate. I don't find it very interesting.
Right.
Dayton, I actively hate.
But it's interesting.
I know. I hate it.
You like to see people walking down the street like just lit a
Kinda
fucking 1,000-yard stare.
I
Wait
lived
a
in.
second, Kelly. You went to the German Village not too long ago. Did
I
you
did
think
like
that
that.
was?
No. I like things in Columbus.
Okay.
I just think overall, like it's kind of flat. I'm not even saying that the city itself
You
doesn't
mean
have things to
geographically
do.
flat?
I just think it. Yeah.
Do you know who lives there?
Who?
John Kasich.
I'm just saying,
I
like
was
it's
born and raised in Columbus.
No, Columbus.
Oh.
Don't get me wrong, Mike.
You think you're better than me, bitch?
You've gone too far already. Now you're just here's another shovel, Kelley.
I'm
You
not
broke your
trying
other
to,
one.
I'm not trying to say I don't like the sea bus, and there are Durban Village, gorgeous, fun, good food.
Queen.
I just mean when you drive through, it just looks very like but it's a nice place.
I like.
Well, that's
Columbus.
you know what, and that's maybe we're in the middle.
Maybe
of the
I should check my privilege.
check it. We're in the middle of the country. We get that attitude from people on the coasts or like Chicago or wherever.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the middle of the country, it's all just blah. Don't do
you know
that.
that's terrible. Have you guys
Don't
driven
do
through
Metropolis.
Gotham or Metropolis lately?
Yeah.
They are riddled with crime.
Yeah, they are.
It is terrible.
I'd
Stay
rather be
away.
in Kansas with the fucking Spooperman parents. Who lives in Kansas?
With Spooperman's parents.
Spooperman.
Yeah, watch out for the tornadoes in Kansas.
Kansas
Dorothy.
sucks, though. I think we could all agree.
But I just don't want to get
That's
away
why the wind blows.
before I reiterate again
Yeah.
that Dayton is horrible.
Okay, good.
I lived there for 3 months, and it was just a nightmare.
Yeah, Dayton's disgusting.
Anyway,
I think we can all agree that Dayton is.
Hold on. If every city is horrible, maybe it's you.
no, I didn't. I just said Dayton is horrible. I didn't say Columbus is horrible. I like Columbus.
You're just trying to.
He likes it more now.
He's trying to damage control right now.
All right, did you want to move it along then?
I did just want to say, but if you can make it to Columbus,
Yes.
for the Horror Hound, it's
Do
going
it.
to be an interesting one. It's going to be a special Christmas holiday type of deal. Also, a ton of, I mean, if you care about this, Friday the 13th Part 5 people are going to be there.
Yeah.
People from Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Gremlins.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I missed my time spot.
No, you didn't.
Anybody out there that's a listener to the show that's gotten to go to the Not Scary Farm in California and see the Elvira show, I would love for somebody to call
I think
in
Paul went.
and
Yeah.
talk about
yeah,
that
Paul.
because I've been seeing some of the video clips. This is supposed to be her farewell. Elvira's done Not Scary for I don't know, long time. So the big fans out there could probably tell us more. But some of the videos I've been seeing from that show looks spectacular. I would really love to see it. But I would love for a listener or somebody to call into the show and just leave some thoughts about that because it looks awesome.
Are you saying her farewell is Elvira? Like, is she retaring from that or just that haunt? thing?
Just the haunt.
Oh,
She's been a
thank goodness.
performer, so it's
Okay.
been like it's like our show, Hot Blooded at Kings Island. Except, sorry, sorry,
That is
Elvira.
terrible.
If you listen to this,
Hot-Blooded?
Elvira, I don't mean to compare it to that because your show it blows that out of the water. But it would be like a theme park show that she has
Gotcha.
done and
Gotcha.
hosted for a long time. Knott's Berry Farm has contracted her to be out for that, so I think she's done it for like 10 years. Or I could be wrong. It's been a while though.
Do you think
She's a
what are the
class act.
chances?
Cassandra Peterson, just
Yeah.
a class.
She's great.
She's awesome.
She is, and like I'm not trying to sound like, well, I'll sound however I sound, but her body is like she does a number where it's just her. Andy, you would like this. She's got the pasties with the things that hang off of them, and she can
Does
spin
the
them in
spinning.
both
Yeah.
directions. And
Yeah.
this is
She
a.
Yeah.
does that in her movie.
She still
But
does
for a
that?
theme park show like that, and for her being like,
You should have
this
to pay
is
an
a-
extra $100 for
This
that.
is a plus person to
Yeah.
do that and to be. I mean, she's freaking awesome. She looks fantastic.
Yeah,
and
she's super hot.
It's impressive.
She's a hot old lady. She's awesome.
I'd love to hear more about
Nice
it.
person.
Wonder, what are the odds that there's a listener who commutes to Kings Island from Dayton to perform in Hot Blooded?
Sorry, not
should I
sorry.
backtrack? Actually, can I say something real quick?
Sorry, not sorry.
Andy wants
IDW.
to- I do love the Hot Blooded show. It is. Here's what I love about Hot Blooded show. If it's kind of adult-ish,
Yeah.
and it's usually
Not as
using
adult as
people-
they led you to believe.
Yes, they usually use students from Cincinnati, our UC camp, the UC
CCM,
Arts program,
yeah.
to do it, and they do a show that it's a little, there's people in leather and they talk about sexual stuff.
they're vampires,
And it's
right?
Awesome because it's
The vampire
super duper cheesy. It's supposed to be super duper cheesy, but what's great about it in conservative Cincinnati, especially in the Kings Island area, and that area is way more conservative than Cincinnati is that you get to watch all of these families pick their children up
And
and
leave.
and it just makes my heart smile.
Which is amazing because
just
it
makes
is
me feel
not
so good.
adult
No.
at all.
It's really not, but
No,
there's
I don't think it's meant to be cheesy. That's why I love it because
It's earnest.
it's earnest and
sincere.
it's camp to me.
it is
Which is kind of like a backhanded compliment, but it is a
it's
compliment.
super. I think it's meant to be
It's camp.
Hey, Vern.
No, it can't mean to be camp. If you make something out to be camp, it's no longer camp.
What?
Oh.
Camp.
I think
Ernest
camp
goes to
can be
camp.
an intensive.
It all comes back.
Intensive thing. Is that a word? Nope. Okay.
Anyway, so we're going to cover straight to video Russian roulette. It's Freddy's selection this week. So not to cut everyone off.
No, it's fine. It
It's
needs
probably
to happen.
good.
I just wanted to feel the power for
Do
once.
it.
I've never done this.
Do you feel it
feel
running through
strong.
your veins?
What?
We'll be right back.
What? You never dominate a show?
Hello, boys and girls. It's time for straight to video Russian roulette.
So Freddie,
So Kelley,
so
I sell shells by the seashore.
you watched.
I watched Savageland.
I think we need to stage a show coup where we overthrow Kelley. As
Shoku.
You don't want to do that. I have the palace guard behind me.
He's drunk with power right now, guys.
Yeah, but I got the wildfire under the fucking studio, bitch.
You're so close to being Joffrey.
All right, Freddie.
Yeah. February this year, a film was released called Savageland. It's available on Amazon Prime right now.
It's not about Kraven the Hunter or Wolverine.
Real quickly, just from IMDb, when a small town near the Arizona-Mexico border is wiped out overnight, suspicion falls on the lone survivor. But a roll of photos the survivor took that night tells a different story. I really, really like this movie a lot.
Yeah?
It's very good. And the reason it's so good is it takes the found footage genre in the mockumentary genre, those formats, and it does something slightly different with them. It's talking head narrative, but the footage portion of it that is normally, in most cases, kind of amateur-ish stuff, they replace it with a literal found roll of film, 35 millimeter, like still photographs, 36 of them that help tell the story of what happened in this town.
That sounds awesome.
It is cool because they bring this guy into custody and the police are certain that he killed everybody in this town. It's a real small town, but like 40 people or something.
57.
Was it 57? Just like Heinz.
I just happened to see that.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie, but I happened to notice that being in the room. Sorry.
And
I love that idea because it reminds me of like old unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
Like kind of reminds me of Expedition Everest, actually.
Yeah.
Where they like show the fake photographs
Yeah.
and they have to piece together what happened.
It's
Fucking
very
Yeti,
much like
bruh.
that.
Yeah.
Because this film that they have, I don't know if it's shot in black and white or if it's supposed to be because he was taking these photos at night that they look black and white. There's a lot of like blurry images. A lot is left to the imagination. Reminded me a lot of the original Night of the Living Dead where they have all the still photos at the end.
Yeah.
And it's just, they did a really, really, really good job with this. It's definitely like way above average as far as the found footage genre goes.
Spooky.
It's spooky. It plays
Political.
It's political because a lot of it is about the situation in Arizona with all their immigration issues and hate crimes and all that stuff. It's just great. And the guy who plays the suspect, I read he's not even a professional actor, but I thought he did a great job. The creator of Wolverine is in this movie.
So
small
Wolverine
part.
is kind of in it.
Kind of.
I thought Stan Lee was the creator of Wolverine.
No, apparently it was a guy named
Spooky McDoo-doo.
Dan
Lin Wein.
Farting.
Or Lin Wein. I should probably know this, but I didn't know it until I read it. According to IMDb, he created Wolverine. But he plays a war photographer that they interview as part of the Talking Head segments, talking about, authenticating all the photos and everything, and how he's like, this is kind of like why the psychology of somebody who uses the camera as a defense mechanism to feel less vulnerable in this sort of situation. So that it lends a lot of realism to it. The talking heads that they chose to help tell the story are like police officers, immigration people, survivors, like surviving family members and stuff, and it feels really authentic. It's great.
I want to watch it now.
Yeah.
You made me want to watch it.
Yeah.
You did your fucking job.
Yeah, the photos are real spooky, and they do a great job of building on them.
This is going to look really good on your review.
I'm glad to hear it.
His podcast.
I aim to please.
Producer review.
When we talk about it, you're definitely getting a merit increase.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a spoiler to say that this is is a zombie story essentially.
Yeah.
It's a zombie story. It's presented in such a different way. It's so refreshing.
Now I really want to see it.
It's like a cold Budweiser on a hot day.
Yeah.
Refreshing.
That might be
Spooky
part of
shit.
our. That might become part of our casually watching horror movies in the month of October, Halloween time thing, because we don't do 31 movies.
Yeah.
But
To any horror fan watching it, it's obvious. I think that's why I don't feel that's a spoiler.
Yeah.
If I apologize if you feel like I've spoiled this movie.
if
for
you're
you.
some kind of newbie or ding dong that doesn't understand what zombies are,
you a newbie ding dong?
Freddie spoiled it. But if you're smart,
I'm glad to hear that it's a zombie movie because I feel like they had their moment and then they went away for a little bit because it was overkill. But I feel like they should be coming back again.
yeah, man, I'm always down for zombies.
That was funny.
Always down.
Like a zombie.
they died and they should come back.
Aww.
Because now it's all about like Insidious
Synergy.
and like James Wan type movies.
I do like those two,
I'm
though.
getting,
I like those
I'm getting
too,
like
though.
sick of those actually.
Oh, good for you. But I guess what I'm not.
I mean, frankly, I'm sick of zombie movies, but if you can tell one in this fashion,
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm never going to be sick of something that is good.
right? It's the presentation is what counts.
You got hot ear?
Yeah, I got hot ear.
He's taking
Hot
his
ear.
headphones off. How
This is
dare
because I
you.
shouted about
No.
zombies.
My ears just were getting hot.
Oh,
So hot.
Are you done,
you
baby?
do have hot ears.
Yeah, I shouldn't say more.
No, you shouldn't probably.
All right.
Ever again.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
that's a recommend from Freddie for Savageland.
Definite recommend. If you have Amazon Prime, you can see it for free. It's just my OCD's killing me because the middle grommet on the banner is not on the hook up there.
Oh,
my
my
goodness.
horror film was killing me because you kept looking behind my shoulder and I was waiting for something to hit me.
So this is not on Netflix, so it's on Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I have a movie gun. It's got a movie bullet in it. Would you like to shoot yourself, Amy? Yes, I would. Oh, I don't have the sound on, but just trust that I'm going to put the sound in, like I had to do last week. I lived. Mikey B! Put this in your mouth and pull the trigger, bitch. You lived.
Okay.
Kelly.
Put it against my balls this time.
I mean, here, I'll hand it to you. You do it.
You sound like my doctor.
You died.
Oh, shit.
Now I definitely sound like your doctor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your balls got shot off and you bled out.
All right. Would you like to know what you're going to watch?
Must have been a
Review?
really tiny bullet.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Once it gets in there, though, it rattles around like a fucking pinball.
Yeah, it's a
it-
22.
It explodes. It's kind of one of those.
It's one of those. Let's not talk about guns.
Amy,
Hashtag Vegas
Second
strong.
Amendment.
All right.
And
Kelly,
First Amendment.
Kelly, you're going to watch and review Dark Signal.
Mm.
During a live interview with a medium at an isolated radio station, the voice of a murdered young woman cuts through the static with a message.
Spooky.
I feel like this could go one of two ways.
Right.
Either really good or boring as fuck.
I do know my mom watched it and she liked it.
Yeah?
We were talking about it last week. Okay. Anything else before we move on?
Nah.
This week's main attraction is a continuation of our TV Halloween specials. This one aired October 30th, 2013 on FX, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's the season 3, episode 4 of American Horror Story Coven. The name of it,
And sort of 5, if you continue it.
4 and 5. Yep. I figured we'd break them down. Fearful pranks ensue, and then we'll talk about Burn Witch Burn.
Burn Witch Burn.
In Fearful Pranks Ensue, Fiona, the whole truce gets upset. There's a lot of hibbity gibbity goobity goo that doesn't make him a whole lot of sense out of context. in this
Hello,
episode.
I'm Burn Witch Burn.
Yeah.
And just Burn Witch Burn. Thank you for laughing at that.
This suit burns better.
Also, just if you haven't watched this yet and you don't want to be spoiled on it, maybe you stop because we're going to have to explain some things around it to kind of give it context, as Freddie kind of says. So go ahead.
As someone who's seen all of season 3 of American Horror Story, when it did we watch this when it aired, Amy?
I don't remember.
Anyways, it's been a little while, at least a year,
Been a while.
maybe 4 years, and we really enjoyed Coven.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Coven was
I
good.
think it's probably the best of all of them.
It's
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
1 and 3 are my favorites.
I've only seen 1 and 3.
well,
So.
every season I try to go through it, but for the vast majority of them, I get to a point where I can't watch anymore.
Yeah, I tapped out of
because
2.
It's just too much,
Yeah.
and I didn't get through 1 all the way through it the first time, but then I went back and watched it. But Coven is the only one I watched straight through.
Yeah.
And I would say the strengths of both season 1 and 3, where the others kind of fall apart, is that they have, I feel like, a real set story.
Yeah.
And then they just, I mean, other stuff happens around it, but
Well,
they have a through line where I feel like Asylum and Hotel and Freak Show are
But for
like,
me, it's just the subject matter is the scariest of all the seasons. Just 1 and 3, Ghosts and Witches.
Yeah.
Ghosts and Witches scare the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Andy is a trick-or-treater.
What were you going to say, Mikey?
Well, I was just gonna say, I know American Horror Story. Some of those other seasons don't get a lot of love, but I do like the other seasons. Especially, I like Freak Show, and I know I'm one of the few who do like that show. But I like.
I've only ever seen 1 and 3.
Well, they're
it's
great.
super weird, and I can kind of get into that. So
There's great imagery,
Yes.
but they like I feel like the stories kind of like the plots. They're very Lynchy.
yes,
You like Lynch.
I do like a Lynch.
You're a Lynchy.
And I would say, because I'm struggling, I've been watching what's the Lady Gaga one?
Hotel.
The hotel one. I'm really I've hit that wall in like I think I'm in the 7th or 8th episode of it. I
Yeah.
just really hit that wall on that one. Although I really like the imagery in that one too, but that's been the only one I've really struggled to get all the way through. I've watched all the others from beginning to end.
On a revisit, as much as I liked watching Coven the first time through, I saw a lot of weaknesses in these episodes that I didn't the first time.
Yes. Well,
Very messy storytelling.
Well, that's Ryan Murphy, staple, isn't
That's
it?
his
though?
trademark.
It is, but that's not a badge of honor. It's like if had this show been as good as I thought I remembered it being, I would remember why the Alexandra Breckenridge character is executed in the middle of the episode.
What?
She is so hot.
She is so hot.
I mean,
okay.
I don't want to debase women on just looks, but goddamn,
Girl.
Yeah.
we're not allowed to call ladies hot anymore.
Of course you are.
Which
I'm
one
going to
is that?
hashtag IDWIW this shit.
She was the lady who got shot in the head.
Yeah, she was the French maid in the first
Ah, yes.
she was the redhead. Woof.
She's insanely hot.
Anyway,
You can
she gets her head blown off.
But you
Is she a
know,
witch?
with this
Yeah.
one, I can see what you're saying, Freddie, on that. But I
Yeah.
also would say that it's sort of his style. I think where he lost it with Glee was just like he took turns that he didn't deserve.
Yeah.
But in like the horror genre, I almost feel like you kind of get that extra opportunity just to play around in the weird and the fantasy of it all. So
Yeah.
when he's throwing a lot of stuff at the wall, a lot of it really does stick for me.
Yeah.
Just because I think you have to suspend some of it more than what you do when you're playing in another genre.
Well, it's because Freddy's rubber and you're glue.
Well, the thing, what you're saying, and this is why I didn't like. This is why I especially didn't like Asylum. Is that because, like I said, I know exactly what you're talking about because I feel like in Asylum, all he was doing was throwing things at the wall,
right.
and it was just fucking cum all over the walls. But I feel like when he threw stuff at the walls in Murder House and Coven, like he had a real nice through line where you could follow the story and then he could throw stuff out there and it worked around it. And
Yeah, there were definitely parts of Coven that work really well. I think it would have been a stronger series in this episode in particular had there not been those strange, forgettable moments.
I get you. It's my favorite Jessica Lange of American Horror
She's
Story.
great.
She's
God, she's
so
great.
awesome in Coven.
And Angela Bassett, man.
Oh
Maria
yeah, Angela
Laveau.
Bassett is really good.
Can also say for her, goddamn.
Goddamn girl.
Yeah.
I love the zombies.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And the whole revenge story of I like how on the Halloween episodes that I've seen of American Horror Story, they always have some sort of flashback.
Yes.
Usually it seems like to the 60s a lot of the times.
Yeah.
There's some element in there. And in this one, it's a little boy who goes to a forced integration school.
Yeah.
And he is lynched. And then Marie Laveau curses,
raises zombies,
and brings zombies.
It's
back.
a very Sugar Hill kind of thing.
It's very
certainly
Sugar Hill,
an homage, you know.
And the zombie design and that whole scene with them was the highlight of it for me.
It was really good.
After that, I feel like I wanted so much more of that story.
Well, you're not thinking of the context of. You wanted more of that because you didn't care about the other story elements.
Right.
But if you're in the middle of that show, you care about that
Well,
stuff.
and I did the first time through.
Yeah. But now you just saw it out of context and after a while.
Right. Seeing it out of context. But I think the greatest shows, when you revisit them, you can watch an episode, even a serialized show, you can watch an episode out of context and still enjoy it, like Buffy.
Right.
Like, I can go back and watch a Buffy episode I haven't seen in over 10 years and jump right into the middle of a season and enjoy the whole episode. Whereas this, I really got maybe 10%.
But Buffy had standalone episodes sometimes.
I mean, even the ones that were part of an ongoing storyline, I remember things like the mayor and why he was doing what he was doing.
When there are episodes where, like, the main storylines in the background, and then you get like a Monster of the Week episode.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are episodes where it's all about the big storyline.
But my point is, the stuff that was part of the serialized story was not memorable.
But so here's
motivations.
I get exactly what you're saying.
With what you're saying, though, is that how long has it been since you've watched Coven?
A couple years,
at least maybe a couple years.
So I think that every season in it has a deep storyline that's going on in the background, and sometimes he doesn't earn it, and I would totally agree with that. But in this one, you're dealing with the witches, you're also dealing with the background of racism, and you're dealing with the background of feminism. And some of the throwaway pieces maybe on the rewatch you might not remember is how much of it was dealing with the witches and the zombie voodoo witches, which is really like the and the barber, I don't know what they call it, barber shop, black beauty salon that's going on, and where they have divided this line. So you're going back and forth, and you're dealing with this like deeper race and all of that going on, as well as like the feminism. And I do want to say, while we're talking about like these women legends, Kathy Bates, I mean, just is unsung hero for some of the. She can go so like ugly and just be phenomenal, and like not afraid just to put it all out there and just be a disgusting person. And
Delphine LaRia is a horrific character. Just one of the.
Were they trying to redeem her? I couldn't remember. I didn't remember.
They do.
Here's the thing. I don't know if they're trying to redeem her. I think that they want you to decide if she's redeemable.
Yeah,
I don't think they're. I don't think they're trying to tell you one way or another.
That. And that's a really hard thing to deal with in that season, because there are some heartbreaking moments where she's dealing with role reversal, and you get a little bit in these two episodes where the witch that's played by. What's her name?
Hillary Clinton.
The girl that's on our show, the Empire that we like, that's on
Gabrielle Sidibe.
Yeah,
the black girl, the big,
Queenie.
yes. Where Kathy Bates is dealing with having to serve her now because of the curse, and there's some just real heartbreaking moments as she's coming to some realizations about what is a truly disgusting person.
Amy, like you always say, she's complex.
No, not this one.
Yeah,
she's
but
bad.
like you feel for her sometimes, but then she fucks it up by doing something really bad again.
Well, I think, and I don't know. I mean, I can't say the American Horror Story is too deep, but like, but
I'm back. Did anybody compare Kathy Bates to Michael Scott?
Yes.
Given what that, like, where Andy's saying she's complex, even the worst people, like, that's what makes it so horrible, is that there is some kind of piece of humanity inside of them. It doesn't necessarily redeem them, but like it shows you that, human beings are all human beings.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And I think it was scarier because she's based on a real person.
Yeah.
Although the true it's
a true story, not as bad as we think it is.
No, apparently the Madame LaLaurie stuff was a little bit overstated, and that there was actually no evidence of any kind of House of Horrors or. I mean, she was probably real shitty to her slaves. and maybe even tortured them a little. I'm not trying to minimize, by the way, but I'm just saying I don't know that she actually put like bulls' heads on people.
Can you please check your privilege?
Yeah. I will not check it.
All right.
But I'm just saying,
I'm going to carry it on.
All I had here was that she was a slave owner, and
to come back to Freddie's point on these shows, like I believe that Ryan Murphy has really done. Sometimes when he has not earned it, it's really awful in the ways he's not earned it. For example, his Glee school shooting episode was one of the most disgusting things that's ever been on television.
But interestingly enough, yes, season one,
he did earn it, and I think that.
Did you say that? Oh, there was a Glee school shooting episode?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
And it was just an abomination. But the one in American Horror Story, I do think he earns it. So when he takes those risks on that, I think there's something to be said because he's dealing with a backdrop of slavery, racism, feminism in these episodes where they're still throwing like these really zombies and all of that going on. I think it's fun, and you have to take it in context of what that season was really all about.
For me, the great moment is when Zoe, played by Thaisa Farmiga, finds the chainsaw in the shed and just goes fucking ham on a bunch of zombies. That was when I remember when I first watched this, I was like, yeah! Which is why I wanted to watch this for this, because I thought that was fucking amazing.
That is a fun
Because when I was trying to decide if I wanted to do season one, their Halloween episode, because that's where season one kicked in for me.
I agree.
Or if this, but I felt like the difference is like with the season one Halloween episode, what made it great is it finally kind of tied all the things together, and it made you like understand all the characters. And so I feel like you almost have to be watching the rest of it to get what's so great about that Halloween episode. Whereas I feel like you can kind of step into this and there's just like scary shit happening.
There are moments, you could carve out moments that work just standalone in this episode in particular. And then the one that follows it, because I feel like we've gotten through pretty much the first one already. Yeah. Right? The one that follows it, Burn Witch Burn, has, I think, probably my favorite moment of the series in it.
Is that where they burn Frances Conroy?
Yeah. It's just a great, I think it's a really strong episode.
Well, it's this crazy double cross where Myrtle, played by Frances Conroy, has been jealous of Fiona, who is the Supreme for basically her whole life. And she is she's the head of the Witchcraft Council, right? Or
I think so.
That.
Another legend too, by the way.
Yeah, Frances Conroy, fucking awesome.
Yeah, she's really good.
And she is really trying to nail Fiona to the wall. And through a series of unfortunate events, unfortunate for her, she gets set up.
Her lemons get snicketied.
Yeah, they do. All of them kind of even separately conspire to fuck her over. And so instead of, as she's accusing Fiona of murdering Witch Madison, who would be the new Supreme, which did happen, instead of like everything she accused them of happened, but instead they basically just say, no, you did that.
And you should know that like a Witch Supreme it's like a regular witch.
I love a Witch Supreme with
sour cream and lettuce and tomato. But other than that,
a little bit more expensive, but you know.
Yeah.
That was to me was really a heartbreaking part when you see that she was set up, because you
It is
realize she
heartbreaking.
doesn't. When she's not defending herself on the first watch, you're going, oh, because she did it. And then when you realize, like, after you've seen it and what really happens and that she was set up and that whole thing, it's like, oh, she just kind of gave up.
Yeah.
Like, she's tried so hard to be this, to bring, dignity to the coven in some ways. And then all of a sudden, she's just not arguing.
She says, my name's Paul and this is between y'all.
Yeah. I'm out.
Well, I think she goes out with dignity.
She does go out with dignity. She says she don't have to bind me.
She goes out on her own terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's something powerful to like say, like, hey, I try to warn you guys.
What's another complex character?
Now you guys are fucked.
Yeah.
Because she's petty and kind of an asshole, but she
Rest in
also...
peace.
Well, she's still alive.
You said petty.
Oh, Tom Petty.
God.
Yeah.
Complex humor.
I thought you meant Frances Conroy. Why am I talking like this?
You haven't been on Twitter today?
Aw, don't rush her to the grave.
Don't.
She'll be around long after we're dead, Kelley.
Long after the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Anyway, but she's complex because she's like this kind of petty, climber, and you're just like, oh, why don't you stop with your jealousy? But she's very dignified, and she does, I think, in a lot of ways want what's best for the Coven. And,
well, it's kind of like a fuck you to the Coven, because like I tried to warn you guys.
Yeah.
But now you're stuck with this girl, with Fiona, that's out for herself.
Right.
And Leslie Jordan is not a good friend, as it turns out.
No.
He immediately is like, burn the witch. And you're like,
well,
what?
doesn't it feel like
weren't we just friends like 5 minutes ago?
It feels like that thing where like sometimes groups of people are always just waiting for an excuse to burn the witch, including the people with the other witches. Like as soon as they find a reason to burn one of their own, it's like pretty quick to the stake.
It's not cool.
It's not cool.
Did anybody else get a charge? That's a pretty powerful scene, the whole the witch burning scene. But the music cues that Ryan Murphy does for that scene, and then how it goes silent. I think Ryan Murphy just. I know sometimes his music can be a little bit of a gimmick, but in that I just thought it was really well done.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. What do you guys remember? Wasn't it? What did they play like a popular song during sequence?
I'm the worst one for the names.
God,
So.
we just watched it.
Is it a Stevie Nicks song?
That doesn't come till later.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks plays into that.
That's that is the part of Coven where
Right
I was
place,
like,
wrong time.
fuck you.
Is the music or
No,
Stevie Nicks?
Stevie
I kind
Nicks.
of like that because she is a witchy woman.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
By who?
It was the Right Place, Wrong Time by Dr. John.
Yeah.
Oh.
Must have been the right place. Must have been the wrong time.
Did anybody get to the part in Asylum or not Asylum? Yeah, the Asylum where they play the name game.
Yeah.
Did you like it or hate it?
That's when I checked out, actually.
Oh, I loved it.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, we never. We only got a few into that
Okay.
one.
Just curious.
The cinematography on this episode, the best of any of his stuff, I think.
Well, can I tell you what's funny to me is because I was thinking about how interesting it is that like Ryan Murphy actually seems to have a good grasp of horror. Like because when you look at his other shows like Nip Tuck and Glee, like you would think for someone because he does him and Brad Falch. I mean, I know they have a few other writers, but I think they basically do a lot of the writing. And I feel like to do horror well, you kind of have to understand it. And so it was really surprising when because I was like, I don't know how this is going to be like the first season. And he actually has a really good grasp on it, a good grasp of how, well, he doesn't direct the episodes usually, but.
What do you think
this
after
was Jeremy
watching some of
Podeswa.
Scream Queens? Do you still give him?
I haven't watched Scream Queens.
Well,
Okay.
I think he has good references, and he like goes back to those all the time.
Yeah.
But I think his story issues,
Hmm.
Scream Queens, went downhill.
Yeah.
Did anybody? I didn't finish the second season.
Yeah, I
I watched
didn't.
the
No,
first.
I watched the first
Is
episode.
it canceled now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First season had some decent moments, but second
He totally
season
gets
was-
the imagery and he gets the references, and he's a fan
Mhm.
of horror. It's just his weird story thing that it just goes to bananas.
By the
Yeah.
way, the director of this episode did a bunch of Game of Thrones, some from the most recent season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's legit, like, as far as the look and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so people who are Game of Thrones fans, if you appreciate the look of that, it is consistent with what they do in this episode.
And what you're saying about, I agree. Again, this is why so many of the seasons really don't work as well for me. But that's actually what I love about Murder House, is where it would almost make me go, oh, you know what? I'm done. And then it would just walk right up to that line. And then I was always so impressed when they pulled me back and hit me in the fucking gut with something. And I was like, oof, this is good.
Yeah, Ryan Murphy has a problem with restraint. His theories is more is more.
Yeah, I think you nailed it with that.
And they're gonna lay out I have a love-hate relationship with Ryan Murphy.
Same.
I think he doesn't have a very positive view of human beings in general.
No.
I think all of his characters are pretty much hateful in every series he does, I think.
Agreed.
And especially, I think he has a very narrow view of women.
See, I bet he thinks he's a champion.
Well, he has a very
of femininity.
an old queen's version of women where they're all catty and bitchy, and a very drag queen aesthetic where everything's outsized, and they're all beautiful and everything, but they're all at the base they're very.
There is a character named Queenie.
Yeah. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yes, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Well, this is like that whole archetype as bitch as strength, almost, and I don't feel comfortable going any further with that whole narrative.
It's kind of like the problem I have with like Andy Cohen and the Real Housewives. They
better step back right now.
I know, but I know that feminism doesn't have to mean you can be any woman you want,
right?
And you don't have to love every woman.
#IDWIW.
But when like they're perpetuating that stereotype of backstabbing bitches, and like I think that's why he probably did feud with Joan Crawford and Betty Davis, because that's right up his alley.
Yeah.
He likes it's funny because I love watching Untucked, RuPaul's Drag Race, because they're like horrible catty bitches, and I eat it up. But I don't know. It's a difficult relationship I have with that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't like. No, I'm down. I don't like that. I'm a strong woman, so I'm going to be awful. Because that's not strength. That's weakness. Like compassion is strength, But at the same time, I do like seeing strong women on TV.
I think it's like one of those interesting things. Like my first viewpoint of feminism was in Dolores Claiborne, where the older woman character says to Kathy Bates, like, sometimes Dolores being a bitch is all a woman has to hang on to. And I think that's sort of the interpretation of a man who's trying to be woke about what feminism means to a woman. Is means
letting them be bitchy.
Letting them be bitchy, where the reality of it is like if I as a man in the business world, I am a go-getter, I can wear my assholeness as a badge of honor because I make shit happen. But if a female is a bitch, then that's seen as a negative thing, where really it just means, to me at least, it means someone who's assertive and standing up, which shouldn't be called a bitch, but
right.
I don't know.
But the joke's on all of them, because I don't like go-getters in business.
Yeah, I never bought into that. Like men is a positive for men to be, stand up for themselves. Like assholes are assholes, bitches are bitches.
That's how I feel too. We're just cool. Why.
I'm the most feminist in this room though, because I'll call an asshole a bitch.
There it is.
Well, I do too.
Flip the script.
I use bitch.
You're taking it back.
Bitch is not a female word to me.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I agree with you.
It's not a positive.
Anybody could be a cunt.
Yeah,
you can all be all these things.
Yeah.
Being
Dudes can be pussies.
Yeah,
ladies can be pussies too.
As
Go
Amy
on,
likes to say,
off.
we're complicated people.
I call ladies assholes a lot.
Yeah,
what do you call them?
I've called children crying in
I
movie
call
theater
ladies assholes. Where their
answer
where
when
their
you
butts
call?
open up.
Oh.
So, American Horror Story Coven.
Yeah, give it a go.
I thought it was fun when I watched it. I didn't have the problems that Freddy had, except I was like, I don't remember why this is happening.
Well, and I knew that would be a thing too. Again, which is why I decided not to even go with season 1 as the one I suggested, just because even that would even be more confusing.
Yeah.
At least you got zombies and chainsaws.
Yeah,
I really like this one. I like the 2 episodes. I felt like there was enough winks, and I love a good wink. And I also had those weird moments. I think Freddy caused you issue kind of elevated me because I bought right into the gimmick. I'm a fan for the gimmick sometimes. So.
Well, it's funny, like with Ryan Murphy, like American Horror Story shows, it's a show you have to kind of marathon, because if you like forget stuff what happened earlier, then you have to you have to go back and watch it again.
You're like, what's that character? Why are they doing that?
But when you watch something, you marathon something, sometimes the flaws of a show are magnified because you don't get the distance away from it.
Right.
So it's kind of a catch-22 type thing.
Absence makes the heart go fonder.
Before we close out, my biggest issue, the one thing I thought that Coven did too much of was I felt like the Axeman overstayed his welcome.
Oh no, he doesn't really appear much in these 2 episodes.
Well, he's not in these. I don't think he's in these at all. But
that's such a great story. That's such a great.
It is a great
actual historical story.
Yeah.
But I think when that character shows up, I think he stays too long.
I gotcha.
It doesn't ruin anything, but they could have taken some of that out and put something else in.
He did that in Asylum with what was the character? the Nazi character. And
what's his face? What's his fuck? The Dr. Mengele guy?
Yeah.
What's that actor's fucking name?
Not Jeffrey Rush. The guy from Babe.
James Cromwell.
Yeah, James Cromwell.
James Cromwell.
Yep.
Can you believe James Cromwell was in that? All right.
Yes,
there
sir.
you go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Andy chose a Friends episode for us to watch. Andy.
It was inevitable because there are certain pop culture things where I just reference all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always say, me and Kelley, when we become senile, we're just going to talk to each other
In quotes, that's all that's going to happen.
It's going to be Friends and Friday.
Friends, Friday, Kill Bill,
and Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, and John Mulaney.
John Mulaney.
And we're gonna be in a nursing home, and they're like, who is this Monica they always talk about? It's like, who's this Devo?
Miss Chenandler Bong? I don't.
Who's this Ren? They keep talking about her.
This was one of the later seasons, right? Wasn't it
Yeah.
6?
This
I
is
think?
8.
Or 8. Yeah. So like this is after the breakup.
Chandler and Monica.
And Chandler and Monica are getting married, or are they already
They're
married?
married.
Yeah.
Rachel's all knocked up.
Yeah.
And
What a
I'm surprised.
dumb storyline.
This was like the only Halloween episode, right?
I don't
Was
know.
I think so.
I don't know, Andy. I can't help you with
But
that.
I'm surprised actually if it is the only Halloween episode, because you'd think a show like Friends would do like one every year.
You would think that.
Because
they always do a Christmas one,
Uh-huh.
and I think a Thanksgiving one too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Marta Kaufman doesn't like Halloween.
But the story is that just Monica and Chandler are throwing a Halloween party, and everybody's dressed up, and just things happen.
Basically, there's a
It's a classic Halloween episode. There's nothing.
There's stunt casting.
Yeah, Sean Penn is cast as a teacher who is dating Phoebe's. He's obsessed with Phoebe's twin sister Ursula.
They're engaged to be married.
Who shows up on Mad About You?
But she's a monster. That's where she first showed
Yeah,
up.
uh-huh.
Did you say Sean Penn also shows up on Mad About You?
No. Ursula.
Oh, okay. I know Ursula did.
Yeah.
I thought you were. Never mind.
Jesus, Freddy.
I'm with you now.
No, you're not.
And then he meets Phoebe and mistakes her for Ursula, and she agrees to wean him off of Ursula for her own selfish purposes
Because
he's
Ursula
cute.
basically catfished Sean Penn.
Yeah.
And tells all these lies that she's a great person. But
And she does charity work.
Yeah.
But Ursula is one of the worst human beings on the planet.
But it's funny though, because it's a cartoon world, and you can't accept
it's hilarious.
the awfulness for face value.
What I thought was funny was Rachel, like, thinking, now that she's pregnant, she wants to, like, give candy to the kids because she's so into kids now, but she just ends up either yelling at them or just buying them in their affection with her checkbook.
Which I think is very true, because some people just don't have that, parental instinct.
Yeah, me. I don't know what to do with kids and toddlers.
I told Freddie the other day, like, kids aren't, it's just not worth it.
Yeah, we had this conversation yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
I've always found them pretty
You don't
easy to
believe
hang
that
out
children
with.
are our
They
future.
like snacks and cartoons. Those are
Gotta
the same
treat them
things
well.
I like.
Yeah, I think Andy's thinking more babies are.
Yeah, that's the fun part.
Oh, that's what's great about babies. You just set them down, they go to sleep.
Yeah, I like babies, but I do not like having to put.
Give them a sense of pride.
And put everything fragile on a higher shelf.
You gotta do that with the dogs too. We found out.
Yeah, last night.
What were you gonna say, baby?
Oh, I was just saying, like me and Andy were saying, having to put things up is kind of a pain in the ass. She was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my precious moments."
All
Is
of your
there,
precious
like-
moments figures.
I'm sure I'm not the only one, but is there a
I knew it was going to happen.
No.
It's not. We can't even say I'm not the only one.
I'm not the only one.
That's how we is.
Friends just doesn't really hold up for me well at all.
Yeah, I
this
was
episode
watching-
did not.
yeah.
I remember watching it when I was like,
I thought this was awkwardly blocked and put together.
This is later the seasons.
Yeah,
and-
were they just over it all?
It does still work for
Yeah,
me.
it still works
Did
for
it?
me, but like the laugh track helps a lot.
You know,
Yeah.
it's fun. Yeah, I was thinking about all those YouTube videos where they remove the laugh track, and I was sitting and watching. I'm like, now is this one of those ones that would suffer
Yeah, because
without it?
there are some lame ass jokes in
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
And were they a little shitty to Ross about with his Spudnik, which I thought
They're
was an
always
adorable
shitty to
comment.
Ross.
Yeah.
That's part of the
Yeah.
thing. Like
Yeah.
they ridicule.
Shitter.
Ross is a brilliant person. I mean, he's maybe a mediocre paleontologist, but he's a pretty intelligent guy. He has this job, and they just constantly make fun of it.
He's very much like Frasier, I think.
Yeah,
his reactions are outsized from like what's done to him.
He is the Frasier of Friends.
Yeah. He wants everybody to do certain things.
Yeah, because last week we talked about Frasier having a childish reaction, and a lot of times Ross has very basic childish reactions too.
My sandwich. My sandwich.
Was that your sandwich with the moist maker?
Friends is becoming like He-Man was to me. Like, I remember so fondly He-Man and loving He-Man growing up, and then whenever I go back to it, I'm like, I probably should just leave that. I just need to leave it alone. And so when I go back to Friends now, I'm always like, oh.
Friends I still love, but recently I did that with He-Man. Because I was like, boys, let's sit around and watch He-Man. Or it might have just been me and Elise, like, kind of like buzzed watching He-Man. I was like, oh, this is no good.
Well, there's a Geico commercial right now. I think it's with some insurance company, and then like, and it's He-Man, and it looks good, and it's funny, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll go back to He-Man again, and
oh, you know what's funny? My
Friends, He-Man, same thing. Go ahead.
My 21-year-old niece just decided to start binging Friends. I think she's done with it now, and she loved it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She thought it was great.
Good. Okay.
Well, Friends, I can't watch the first 3 seasons because they're just not as good as the later seasons.
To me, what I feel like what I love, I feel is what most people would say they hate. I agree with what you're saying, because for me, Friends works best after the characters have all become caricatures of themselves.
Well, it's because
that's when it works for me, is when Joey is like practically like challenged, developmentally.
Because the first 3 seasons there is too grounded and relatable. But I think from beyond, it gets kind of just goofy and stupid.
It's a bell
sometimes.
curve for sure. Yeah. The last couple of seasons, I really, really disliked the show because I felt like it just I couldn't anchor myself when I watched it anymore. Whereas in this season,
4, 5, and 6 were probably their strongest seasons.
There was a show that got me going back to Friends, and probably it's going to take too much time to
Was
get
it The
there.
Single Guy?
No, but there's a show with like a group of like 30-somethings, and they're funny.
Is it 30-something?
No.
Happy Endings?
Is that it?
That show was great.
That's
a Friends ripoff, though.
It's a Friends ripoff, but it's really funny.
It's everything that was good about Friends, and then it's amped up. The good things about Friends are kind of amped up in that show.
Yeah, and it got me to go back to Friends because I'm like, this is such a Friends show. And then I went and I watched a couple episodes, and like, ooh. And then coming back to it this time for the Halloween episode, I'm like, Halloween episodes are always fun. And I was like, ooh.
Can I just say that Phoebe and Monica's costumes were really nice. I like those.
Yeah. Oh, is it because you could see their asses and boobies?
You couldn't really see their asses and boobies.
I just think it was just sexy.
Their boobies.
I liked it.
So
not to objectify women.
Oh my god.
Well, speaking of Joey being challenged,
they were real hot.
He's dressed as Chandler, and he's like,
be wearing any more clothes.
Well, he was like dressed as Chandler, and he's like, I'm Chandler, and everybody's like, that's so Chandler. I'm like, what?
No, but he does do that a couple of times in the series, like, He had to be like
like when he's grossed out by an idea of something, he's like,
you have to be an Uber fan to really get that reference because it's so subtle.
Yeah.
I thought it was yelling.
It's so subtle.
I know what you mean.
It has an oakiness, a certain. I detect hints of Chandler and Monica.
But speaking of Chandler, especially this episode is amplified how he's.
This is where he's the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, he's always like kind of gay shamed.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like because they had to have the arm wrestling, and it was about who's strongest.
Yeah.
Is it because of his dad? Do you think that's like why they have that running theme?
But like they always make jokes about Chandler being gay or like very feminine, and that was I kind of missed that from the 90s and 80s.
Yeah,
like the casual homophobia.
Because you like to be casually homophobic.
The casual homophobia came out to me for a different reason. Was the coffee shop owner? Because she was like, one
of these days you're gonna make some guy really happy,
and then he just kind of looks at her because he's always been obsessed with her, and it's
I like that joke works in an inoffensive way because the joke is that he's gonna fail at every attempt to seduce her, no matter what he does.
That bro's been friend zoned, yo.
Yeah, like the joke wasn't that he was gay. or that she thought he was gay. The joke was that he can't win.
Yeah, and
I think
He
that
was dressed
kinda
like Charlie
nice.
Brown.
So that was like her football.
And the
pulling
joke
football
is
away from
that
him.
like she's oblivious because she worked with him forever.
Yeah.
When she was a waitress.
Well, she just doesn't even see
Yeah.
him as like
Well,
a sexual object in any way.
Rachel has always been like labeled as this ditzy, selfish girl, and that goes along with the character.
Gunther's a more interesting character to me than most of the main cast.
Phoebe and Gunther are like the
Phoebe is
two
my
reasons,
favorite.
only reasons to go back to that show.
That's Phoebe and Chandler are my favorite. Phoebe,
Chandler's always been my favorite.
Phoebe probably. That's I named my cat after her.
Phoebe's sweet.
Yeah.
I feel like Lisa Kudrow's probably really sweet. Or Kudrow?
She actually speaks French
Kudrow?
because she's married to a French man.
Has
So
anybody
that
watched The Comeback with her?
No, I haven't.
That's on HBO, right?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I don't know. It's supposed to be great.
With a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me tell you about the comeback. So it is really great. I can't. It's sort of. You might find they're so mean to her.
Oh.
Like it's so mean.
But is she a bad? Is it justified though?
No.
Because I like it when people are mean to characters when
No,
it's justified.
Not really. Like it's just it's not even that people specifically like what they do to her character. She's just like constantly being humiliated for being an older actor. It's just like
Fat Actress. That
It's-
show with Kirstie Alley.
it's except much better.
Well, fuck her now. She's crazy.
What'd
But,
she do?
She blamed the Las Vegas shooting on people using antidepressants.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But anyway, it is really
You dumb bitch.
It's real funny, and if you know, but it's for me.
Is
it
it
was
sad?
a little. For me, it was a little
is it
hard to
wa-
watch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially when you're attached to like a Phoebe character.
Yeah, but she's great in it. I mean, everybody's great in it. It is funny,
Yeah.
but just like I was like, I don't know, this doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Make me feel good.
You know that clip is hard to find now.
Really? Were you just trying to find it?
Well, I want Elise has never seen it. And the other, like, I feel like I told this show already this
Yeah.
story on the show once, but I tried to explain to her what that was. And I
Yeah.
was like, let me show you the
You
clip.
just watch the whole movie.
Because it's the only clip. I've only ever watched the clip. I've never seen the movie. And I was like, oh, you can't find it anymore.
And
YouTube is cleaning shit up, man.
And I want to say, I think I related to Ross with his Sputnik costume.
Because you like pun costumes.
But sometimes nobody gets it. You had to explain it to everybody. Because that happened last year with our Cthulhu outfits.
Which were genius.
Oh, they were great.
I
They
liked
were
them, but we
genius.
had to like. So
You
what
had to
are
constantly
you?
explain it.
And you had to explain to everybody what it was.
And if anybody knew the amount of energy that Andy put into that genius costume idea and how much time he had to do to convince me to wear Lululemon pants out in public, there were literally
A lot of work.
meetings. There were meetings
were.
that happened.
But I also was looking at Ross's costume. That's not a good costume for partying.
But how do you not get it?
It's hard to walk around in.
What a bunch of dumb shits. Like, I got it right away.
Yeah.
Well, that is kind of another, like, I feel like running theme where, like, Ross will try to, like, clue them into something, you know, and they're all kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, all of them
Yeah.
are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like, again, maybe Chandler's a little less dumb.
Right.
But
he can't avoid making fun of Ross.
But yeah, he can't stop making fun of people. So like he falls into it too. But the rest of them like just don't understand anything. They don't care about.
No, don't you feel too like in almost just maybe it's my imagination, but almost every episode, each one of them is so self-centered and fighting against their own self-interest, like trying their hardest to like empathize with another human being, and they spend a lot of the episode just trying to fight against their own self-interest to even give somebody else like a modicum of attention or concern.
Well, that's a sitcom trope, though.
That is
like,
sick.
It's the idea
Yeah,
of like
but it's-
sociopath being funny.
It's pronounced, I think, in Friends more so. Like, you know, yes, it's a common thing.
Well, it's not a grounded, realistic show, so therefore,
No.
like everything's
Yeah.
going to be outsized.
Yeah. It's just from that show, it just seemed a little more sociopathic.
Yeah.
More than Seinfeld?
Yeah, I actually think
Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I disagree with that entirely.
Are you fucking kidding
it's
me
more
right now?
it's more insidious because at least on Seinfeld they know they can't count on each other.
I hate you.
And this show gives you the veneer of I'll be there for you unless it's inconvenient to me.
Can I tell you? And I was just
I
having
want a
this.
whole version of that song, by the way, Freddie.
I had this thought the other day about Friends. I was always annoyed that they would never let Chandler smoke.
Yeah.
Like if anyone in this room ever took a cigarette out of my mouth like they did in the episode where they get stuck at the side of the road, I might slap you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really slap you, but I would slap you with my words.
And they didn't take it away from him because they were concerned about his health. They thought it was disgusting.
Maybe. I think it was all those things, but I'd just be like, you better put that shit back in my mouth or you're going to put my dick in your mouth.
Again, the reactions to his smoking are not proportionate to the crime.
Yeah. Don't take a cigarette out of my mouth. I mean, I don't smoke anymore, but holy shit. And he was just like, okay. What?
Yeah.
Okay, so who would win in a fight between Catwoman and Supergirl? It's
Supergirl has
Supergirl all the way,
superpowers,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely Supergirl.
That whole argument.
Supergirl.
Was
But
kind of
if it's a hotness fight, Catwoman.
yes.
Who's stronger, Chandler or Ross?
Inconclusive.
Ross.
Inconclusive data.
We've
Ross,
learned
Chandler,
I would go
actually.
with-
no,
Chandler.
Ross is probably
Chandler.
stronger
I
because
would
he
go with
actually
Ross.
goes to the
What do you
gym.
mean?
Well, yeah. Like,
Ross goes to the gym. I'm serious.
he's
But they
actually
were-
a big dude.
Yeah.
Like that episode where he gets the tanning. He's kind of actually not like cut, but he's actually kind of built.
Like they talk about him going to the gym multiple times
Yeah.
in the show,
Yeah.
so he is probably stronger.
What about when
But
they
Chandler's
had to
better.
move that couch up the stairs?
Pivot.
Shouldn't that, who had the bottom?
It was Ross.
Ross had the bottom?
No, he
Rachel
was-
and Chandler up
He was
top.
at the top,
Yeah.
and he was like Rachel and Chandler at the bottom.
Oh, okay. I can't remember.
That's a trick question.
That is a iconic sitcom moment.
Pivot.
That and the leather pants are my
Yes.
two favorite moments. All my favorite moments are Ross related.
It's made
my
of
favorite.
paste.
Well, the whole apartment.
What color is the lotion?
On the when he and Joey take naps together is also pretty great.
I forgot about that.
Best nap they've
Again,
ever taken.
casual homophobia.
It was casual homophobia.
The two I like are the porn lounge chair,
Yeah.
the porn when they had free porn,
Free porn.
and then the Tom Selleck condom episode. I thought was a great
They have to
episode.
fight
Those
over
are
who's
those
gonna
are
get-
two again that I go back to because I remember them and.
I like how it never occurred to either couple that they could like do other stuff. Like it's just like we are only having P and V sex,
Oh yeah.
man on top.
Yeah.
There's
It's
no
'cause
if we don't have a condom, we're just gonna go right to sleep.
the problem is
Nobody's got a butthole or a mouth or a hand
in a
or
si-
boobs
in a
or
69
anything.
his magnum mustache tickles her rear.
Yeah. It's like they don't acknowledge
Like a
any of that
poisonous
stuff
mushroom.
exists.
Oh, but it's funny because like they actually did like a butt sex joke later on, where they're trying to find the father of the twins, of Ann Faris's twins.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She's like, there's no way I could get pregnant.
Yeah.
And it was like the thing I
We
hardly
rarely
ever do,
or
the
never
thing I
do.
never do.
And she said the thing we never do.
No.
It's like, oh, they're talking about butt sex.
Yeah.
I told. Remember,
just-
my aunt was pressuring us about having kids, and I said that's never going to happen because we only have anal sex.
Who? Which aunt?
Opal.
Oh.
Aw.
FYI, children, you probably should still wear a condom
You
most
should.
times when you do it in the butt too, because
Well,
there
I-
are fluids and stuff in there too. Unless
I
you
mean,
know
I-
the other person is clean, that's fine.
Yeah,
but-
they were pretty, they're pretty,
If you suspect
there
they're
are
clean, if they
couples
look
who-
clean,
yeah,
who knew each other.
yeah,
if they're too nice to have an STD,
yeah. If they're like really nice to you, they buy you flowers.
I've never used a
dinner.
condom during anal
Condoms.
sex, but it's
Yeah.
only because
Well, if
I'm
you're
always
in
with
a-
people I know.
If you're with if your relationship is such that you know everybody's got nothing, you're good.
I just trust people when they tell me they don't have anything.
I'm just making sure that everybody is sexually healthy. Every
that's in the show's mission statement.
Yeah. That's part of that's
not
my
just
job
not just
description.
entertainment. We're checking in on you.
Yeah.
I am that's my job description.
Mhm.
Sexual health chief sexual health officer.
Oh.
Did you know?
I did
you
know.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We good?
So that's Halloween for this week.
Yeah.
This
and
week.
I'm picking one for next week.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
You ready? Mr. Boogedy.
Oh,
Wonderful World of Disney from 1980 something.
I remember that fondly.
And Mikey B's got to pick one,
Yeah.
but you can spend some time if you need think
Okay.
about it.
Wonderful World of Disney was wonderful, by the way.
It was. Remember Michael Eisner would do the little
I do. He'd
introduction?
come out and intro.
Do you remember?
Do you remember the Bigfoot movie that they did? It's called Bigfoot.
Can we just do
Oh, they tried to make
Do
a
you
Mr.
remember?
Boogedy
For
TV
3 hours?
series. What?
Okay. So, like we do
86.
at the end of every show,
You ever
Yeah.
wondered?
is we thank our Beelzebubs.
Yeah.
These are our patrons that donate at $25 per month or more.
We've set devils aside for all of you. I make that joke too often. Stop me next time.
Okay.
It's your show this week, though.
That's true.
And all our little babies should have their pins and T-shirts. But if you didn't get one, let me know.
Except for you foreigners, theirs are going to be a little delayed.
Yeah.
You foreigners. Hey,
foreigners.
One quick fun fact about Mr. Boogedy. It's listed as an adventure biography on IMDb.
Is it a biography about Mr. Boogedy?
I guess so.
In my adventure biography, these people will be listed in the acknowledgement section. Adam.
Adam, thank you.
Brooke.
Brooke, you're so nice.
Ernie.
Ernest, we hug.
We hug. Alberto.
Thumbs up to you.
Albert,
you my boy.
is your last name Fish?
Mm-mm.
Eddie.
Spaghetti. I like you too.
Tree and Alex.
Girl.
How's the little general? Hey. Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie.
I killed him. For
What?
real this time.
Oh no!
Why would you take away a patron?
Billy F. in
it's
New York
an
City.
automated bank
Bill.
deduction.
Hi, Bill.
That's your biggest worry? That we lost a patron?
I mean,
And a friend.
We've got Blake.
oh, Blake, thank you, sir.
Hey, Aaron.
Hey,
Mark.
Kelly hates that. Hi, Mark.
Remember that time we met at the Flying Pig?
Flying Pig Mark.
oh, yeah, and I don't hate that. I just I find it hilarious how much like older white people just keep rediscovering it as the years go by.
Does anybody ever yell out, "I'm Rick James, bitch," at one of those games?
Know what I
I'm
should.
Pickle Rick. Michael Powell, we just met you at Horror Hound. You and your lovely wife, and you're
Michael,
special.
thanks for stopping by our table.
Jeremy.
And Cassie, thanks.
We're just
for,
here last night.
Thank you for
Hanging
breakfast.
out.
They bought me breakfast.
They bought you breakfast?
Did you guys go to
Fucking
Penis?
shit.
Yeah, we did go to Penis.
What'd they think of Penis?
Damn it.
They loved it.
Yeah, good.
We got Getta. Me and Jeremy both.
Get a penis?
Sorry I missed it. I was asleep.
It's all right.
We got some lady named Elise. Some of you know her. I slide.
Elise
I
just sent
love
us
you.
a text with a link to a Murder She-Ra shirt.
I need it. It's amazing. You guys
It's
see it.
Angela
Andy.
Lansbury as She-Ra.
Oh.
Yeah, I need it. Thank you for that. Amanda.
Our next High Five Happy Hour guest.
Yeah, girl, what's your availability?
Yeah, seriously, message us or me.
Or we can do it. I mean, we're right here.
All right.
And Jimmy B.
Yeah.
Thank you. All these beautiful people are beautiful. I mean, not that if you don't donate, you're still beautiful. Tell a friend.
Beautiful.
Tell a friend about the show. Help
We
us
went two
grow
different
it.
routes. We mixed it up like, what was the game we played last night?
Drop mix.
Drop mix.
If you can't donate, tell a friend, leave an iTunes review,
Or
do
just
that.
listen.
Apple Podcasts now.
It's enough to just
That's
keep
the other
listening.
thing.
Just give some love.
Apple's yelling
If you can't
about.
donate.
Love.
Give some love. Give some love to
Exciting.
yourself.
Exciting
And new.
Come aboard.
We're expecting you.
That was a good moment we had. We both had the same thought.
NOGLP.
I want to see pictures of people in their t-shirts. We've got some.
Yeah.
No
We got
pants.
some real cool ones.
Hey, pants off, dance off.
In fact, just lift up the T-shirt and just show us, your bits.
Yeah. If you get a rockin' booty,
I mean, I've seen the shirt.
Rockin'
Your belly
Let's
button.
see what your bits look like,
Yeah.
okay?
Put the pin in the bits.
Oh.
pin and bits. That's like a weird cereal.
Mm-hmm. Pian and Biats.
Yeah, thank you, everybody,
Thanks,
for listening.
everybody.
I hope you enjoyed
Yeah.
yourselves.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Oh,
Give
it's
some
over.
love.
Or week.
Have a good week and a weekend following that.
I hope you're off today for the holiday.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder.
Aww.
Bye.
Bye.
Give some love.
Likes to jump the gun.
Before we get out of here,
Yeah,
I want
yeah.
to do a card from Art of Conversation. So let's just go around the room. No, that's stupid.
Oh, my Lord, Kelly. You insisted on doing this.
Ah,
Okay. What?
in the butt.
What?
Kelly.
I can't. Okay. Any strategies for temper control? Freddie, let's start with you.
Deep breathing, man. It's always my go-to. That or breaking some shit. But I stopped breaking shit because I realized I can't afford to do that anymore.
Mikey B.
I like what you're saying, Freddie. I almost called you Frankie.
Frankie?
I say relax.
Frankie
Yeah.
Stein?
That's part of my strategy too.
Mindfulness, I plug out because I really like the Calm app. and I will say that's some good stuff.
I use one called Breathe.
You like Breathe?
Yeah.
Mindfulness is kind of a hot button right now, but I will say some good grounding techniques. When you're taking those breaths, is just try to figure out something to ground yourself, especially when you're having some anxiety. Notice some colors or something that you can touch with your 5 senses will help you ground and therefore help you come to a little bit calmer place. I've been using that a lot recently.
Andy.
Hate crimes.
Good one.
Oh, dear.
Get it out.
Yeah. It's like every day is like falling down for me.
He likes to channel his anger.
You know what? Every day is a winding road.
Yeah. No, I don't think I have any.
What happens when you have a temper tantrum?
I probably just internalize it, then
and you just stew and hate.
Yeah.
Amy.
You catastrophize. Twitter rants. When I'm really mad about something, I like to do that.
I do that on Facebook.
And sometimes you take a paper clip and you unwind it a little bit, and then you jab yourself in your palm till you stop wanting to angry cry. That's what I do.
Is that healthy, Mike?
I would say just go ahead and angry cry.
I do. I do a lot.
For me, there's 2 ways I deal with my temper.
Mm-hmm.
One is if I feel like it's justified, I will try to talk about it. If it's a person who's made me angry, I'll try to talk about it with them. Or just talk about it again. I feel like anymore on Facebook, all I do is just call out the world.
Yeah.
For things that annoy me, but also I feel like self-talk. Like if I can't do that, I feel like self-talk in my head.
I do too. I go over it over again in my head. Like, am I wrong or are they wrong? And then I come to a conclusion that I'm right.
Yeah. Well, it's not even necessarily positive self-talk, but I just say all the things in my head that I want to say, and then eventually I kind of calm down.
So just real quick, I'm gonna say, like, I think right now in this state of the world and the way that everything is, this is a really important topic, and I would say make sure that you, when you need it, you reach out. And there are good ways and bad ways to deal with everything, but I will say sometimes we all need a little bit of extra help, and I'm a huge fan of therapy counseling. I'm doing some myself currently, and I think that has to do with state of the world and state of a lot of things, and I don't think we need to take away the shame from that. So that's why I just want to kind of come out with that and say
I need it. I know I need a therapist.
Seek help. I've been doing a lot of mindfulness, and sometimes, and that has helped me tremendously, but there's no shame in also saying sometimes I need more professional support. And so I would say the thing that gets me through is to reach out to my friends, to go back to my toolbox of tools. And again, if anybody wants to reach out, I can go into more detail on the Higher Love episode because that would take a lot of time, but there are great tools out there. But sometimes even as a professional sometimes needs help too. And so there's no shame in that game, and make sure that if you need something, please reach out, be vulnerable, be honest, because one of the biggest things you can do with your friends is say, hey, I need some help right now, and life has gotten a little bit hard. And when you feel that vulnerability and you can still be who you are and still be loved by people, you found your tribe. So, and you got a nice tribe here with the NOTLP cast. So I just want to say that.
You got a real nice tribe, girl.
And it's always nice when people, it's always great when people like write into us and say like, when I'm like sad or anything, when you guys help me out. That is always the best feedback we ever get.
So even if that hasn't been your experience, just say that to us.
Yeah.
No, but
I know. I agree with you. It's very gratifying, and
it makes. I mean, I don't want to like pat myself on the back too much, but it does make what we do worthwhile.
Well, it feels good. That's not a lie.
It does feel good.
Mm-hmm. This is apropos of something that was said just a little while ago, but like where you go through in your head and you're like, did I fuck up? There is a great subreddit called Am I the Asshole? Mm-hmm. And you can write and say, this is what happened. Am I the asshole here? Wow. Yeah. And people write back to you honestly and sincerely and go, yes.
I do want to say in that whole, sometimes in that story in your head though, I would just be really careful. Again, I know this is not a Higher Love, so I'm just going on a tangent on that, but you have to be we all could give a little compassion to ourselves, and I think that makes it easy to give compassion to other people, and sometimes that story in the head will take you to levels of anxiety that are just not fair. So sometimes pat yourself on the freaking back and say you're doing the best damn job you know how to do, and disconnect from that story, because that story can take you to some dark places sometimes.
Oh, I'm still like thinking about things I did in middle school.
Oh
so.
yeah, but then the thing I tell other people when they're spiraling in those moments, I say, "Did anybody die? No, you're gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." And I have to tell myself that a lot. Nobody died. You're fine.
Yeah.
I think that's God's way of telling us, like, thanks for listening again.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
What are you doing over there, Freddy?
Make a bunch of racket.
You idiot.
I ran into my microphone. My phone went off, so I tried to silence it.
And then you ran into your microphone.
Even though it is silenced, it's just
you're
the
a
other
jingle
thing
butt.
was not silent. And then I turned around to rejoin the conversation, and I hit my microphone with my head.
Somebody is now going to die.
Well, thanks for engaging in the art of conversation with us.
Because we like to make you laugh, but we like to make you feel loved and warm as well.
And horny.
Look how cute.
All right, everybody, bye.
Bye.
Frankenstein was wondering if he should go to